Join us on a whirlwind journey through time and history in the land of pharaohs. Our first stop is Luxor Temple, a place that dates back over 3,000 years and holds a story of a missing obelisk. Continuing our journey at Karnak, we will explore the largest temple complex in the world that was built and expanded upon over centuries. In just one day, we'll explore the wonders of these two incredible temples right here in Luxor, Egypt.
It's our first morning here in Cairo, and already having very good impressions of the city. Right now we're walking right down by the Nile on our way to go see the Luxor temple, and then we'll be heading to the Karnak temple after that. We had a really great buffet breakfast at our hotel, which is almost the only redeeming quality about it. It's been interesting. We had a bit of a light show with our lights last night, just constantly flashing, like strobe effect, and the phone wasn't working, so we couldn't call down for room service or for help or anything like that. But yeah, here we go. One plus, however, about staying at the hotel we're at, which is the Iberotel Luxor, is that it's literally like a 3-minute walk, maybe 5, to the Luxor temple. So pretty convenient. So we've just arrived at Luxor Temple and we're going to grab some tickets. The entrance can be a little bit tricky to find because the whole area is just gated off and there's not a lot of signage. So you're going to want to look for this tower right here, and then just on the side of it is the ticket area.
One of the two obelisks at the front entrance is actually missing, and that's because in 1829, the King of Egypt gifted it to the King of France. It took 3 years to transport the 250-ton monument to Paris. Unlike most other temples in ancient Egypt, Luxor Temple isn't dedicated to a specific god or pharaoh. Instead, it was dedicated to the rejuvenation of kingship, and it's likely that this is where most great pharaohs were coronated and later buried in tombs upon their deaths.
So coming here around noon, it is pretty busy. Lots of tour groups coming through. Now, you'll walk through a big group of like 30-40 people, and then there'll be not a whole lot of people for a while, and then you'll come across like another tour group. So it's kind of just about timing it once you're in the temple, and just being patient, especially if you want to try and get shots with less people in them. Just wait, they'll do their tour moment and then they'll move on, and then it'll be mostly free. Definitely a really cool temple, and would recommend coming to check it out. We're currently walking down what they call Sphinx Avenue. So it's nearly 3 kilometers long, and it's just completely flanked by sphinxes, and there's 1,060 of them. We're not planning on doing a head count and walking the full 3 kilometers. There are definitely a lot of them, so I will take their word for it. You can also probably hear some sirens in the background right now. I can't tell how much of that is just echoing and how much of that is actually a bunch of different emergency vehicles. It looks like there's a lot, so curious to see what, well, maybe not see, but hear what that's all about. Okay, so it definitely wasn't just echoes. There are a ton of vehicles going by right now. There's like police cars and bikes, a bunch of military vehicles with soldiers mounted on the top, potentially fire trucks, so not sure what's going on. They don't seem to be in a rush necessarily, but that is a lot of sirens. Just one street over from the temple, there's this cute little covered market. We're grabbing some drinks here. We just finished eating lunch, and now we're heading towards the entrance to the Karnak temple. It's apparently just absolutely massive, because every time there was a new pharaoh, they would scrub the previous pharaoh's name off of all the structures and then just build it even larger. Make sure you hang on to your ticket, because you're going to need it again to get into the temple itself.
Karnak Temple was the largest and most important religious complex in ancient Egypt. It's actually even bigger than the sprawling main temple of Angkor Wat in Cambodia.
So it looks like there would have been a roof over top of all of these columns back when it was made.
Karnak Temple is over 2,000 years old and spans about 200 acres. It was a work in progress for about 1,500 years and was added on to by pharaohs such as Hatshepsut and Ramses II. The obelisk is one of the most recognizable symbols of ancient Egypt and was generally used to represent the sun god and placed at the entrance of temples.
So this temple complex is absolutely massive. There are so many different areas to explore, and what's cool is the little info cards. There's a lot of information on them, but what's really cool is that they highlight the part that you're at and explain where you are and what that was used for. And yeah, it's actually really nice, because the last temple we went to basically didn't have any information on it. So unless you have data and can Google it, you didn't really get a whole lot of information on site. Good little piece of information to know is there is actually a washroom inside the complex, right between, I believe it's between the first and the second pillars. There's not a lot of signage for it, so you might have to ask somebody, but there is a bathroom within this area, so you don't have to go all the way back out to the main restaurant shop area to go to the bathroom. And as always, you need to exit through the bazaar.